Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today we got some prime times that did have X Factor and Team of the Year card implications. We also got some social showdown cards that we'll go over as well. Guys, if you enjoy the content, make sure that you subscribe to the channel for the most up-to-date news, tips, and info. All right, let's go over all of the latest content in NHL. All right, we'll kick things off with some of the new prime times, including the 89 primetime Jordan Staal from the Carolina Hurricanes. I do want to mention, guys, leave this in the comment section down below. Do you guys actually like having all of like the 85 overalls and you know the lower overalls at this stage in March being released? I know a lot of they release them because you know not everyone is going to play with these super powered teams. A lot of players will just play offline with like squad battles and just build teams based on their favorite players and whatnot. But do you guys actually like those 85s and 86s being released, or would you rather just see some usable cards regardless of who they are, maybe less cards released each day? Let me know in the comment section. But let's start off with this 89 Jordan Staal. We've got 6'4". He was one of the best hut cards in like the mid-teens, so like NHL 16, 17, 18. He was always such a good card because of his size. He's got distributor and fly in the zone, 87 speed, 88 acceleration, and big tipper. Obviously, skating is going to be super detrimental. If you are someone who is extremely good at the game and maybe you just picked up, maybe you're trying to qualify for GWC on a different console and you're just starting a new team very, very late in the year, this could be a decent card for you because you're already so good at controlling the puck. He is one of the better players at that, and he's got such good face-off and defensive ratings, but it's going to be awfully tough for the casual player, the average player to use this card with the skating at this point. And we've got the former Niagara Ice Dog, the 92 Jason Robertson, 6'2" with distributor and light the lamp with puck on a string and close quarters. Close quarters is one of the best zone abilities in the game, in my opinion, currently right now. It is definitely one of the most effective, and with the AP changes going down for a little bit lower, it's definitely more viable. 90 speed, 88 acceleration. Obviously, skating is really tough at this point, and because he's a 92, it is obviously going to mean that his cost is going to be a little higher. I'd say around 60 to 70,000 is probably where he's going to settle in. It's awfully tough to use a card that is that slow on the wing. That being said, if he does get around 50, 60K, and you are someone who can use the bigger players, maybe he could be of some use to you, but it's still going to be awfully tough using someone with the slow skating. And we've got the 93 Roman JOSI with Gladiator as well as Workhorse with Protector as well. Tape to tape and Heat Seeker, 90 speed, 91 acceleration. Not completely detrimental, but obviously 6'2". His size is okay at 6'2". That's not bad at all, but 90 speed, 91 acceleration. If you're going to go after someone in the mid-90s with that level of skating, you kind of want him to be much bigger. I mean, the higher-end Victor Hedmans are faster than this, and obviously he's 6'6". So something to keep in mind. He is very good defensively. If he does go for something cheap, that might be a decent buy, but 138,000 coins, that's honestly not terrible, but if he's not being bought, I wouldn't mind him just seeing around 100,000, to be honest with you, just because, again, the skating is pretty tough and the zone abilities and superstar abilities, not that great. Let's take a look at his X Factor. We haven't looked at a lot of X Factors lately, and look at the cost. The cost is just so crazy to me. He does have, in reverse, thunderclap, wheels, and puck on a string, which are just not very good at all for a lot of defensemen. Does get heart and soul at tier 16, which, again, you're not going to want to activate. Just not nearly worth the investment, obviously. And then we've got the 96 Victor Hedman, 6'6", with 1T and Seeing Eye, which is one of the best zone ability combos in the game. We're going to talk about this in just a little bit. With Magician as well as Wingman or Spark, 92 acceleration, 91 speed, and an awesome zone ability combo for the offensive portion of your defenseman. In all honesty, you want a left-handed defenseman on your team that has this zone ability combo, and we'll talk about it in just a little bit. But this is obviously one of the best cards in the game. And even if you don't have his X Factor or his Team of the Year card, like, it's going to be so good. The problem is you're just not going to be able to pull very many of them. Taking a look at his Team of the Year card, it's got 93 speed, 92 acceleration at this point, and he is still one of the best cards in this game. So if you did buy him and get him back when Team of the Year was out, I hope you guys listened. He is still and will be one of the best cards remaining for the remainder of this year. All right, guys, on to the new Social Showdown cards. And we'll start with the 6'7", 87 overall Jamie OLEKSIAK with Workhorse as well as Buzzing and Stick 'em Up, which is nice. Even though he's 6'7", there is just no way to utilize this card and not have you know, just get absolutely blown by the overall and skating in this game now. He's 6'7", which is amazing, a lot like what Victor Hedman is, but you're just not going to be able to keep up with anyone, so this is a pass, unfortunately. You've got Boone Jenner, 6'2", with Wingman, as well as Buzzing and Truculence. A really fun card, in all honesty. Only 86 on the draws, whereas, you know, you might be able to use him on the wing on the left-hand side, but again, very tough skater. You might be able to use him at center and activate Truculence because it's one of the best abilities in the game still to just kind of give you that defensive, like, just absolute dominant person in your own zone. But still, even if you're just starting your team, 88 overall is going to cost you at 40,000 coins, and I wouldn't pay that for this. Dylan Strome checks in next. The 6'3" centerman does have Thief and Heart and Soul to try and get his face-off rating a little bit higher. Obviously, his size is nice, but just the rest of him is just not very good. Unless you're a Blackhawks fan, this would be a hard pass. Just, again, not worth the cost you're going to have to spend to get him. Ehlers gets an 89 overall Social Showdown card with Gladiator or Well-Rounded, as well as Booming Shot and Wheels. Very, very fast card. Obviously, one of the better skaters in HUT. 93 speed, 93 acceleration. This is definitely worth the cost. If you can get him for around 40 to 50,000 coins, I think if you're someone who built a team later in the year, definitely a card to try and target, as he's got great shot, great hand stats, good skating. Obviously, defensively, he's a little bit more of a liability, but as a winger, that's really not important. So, very, very good card. Next, we've got the 91 Jake Muzzin, 6'3", with Spark and Wingman, as well as Bombarded. He's got Gold Send It, which is not a very good zone ability at all, and Truculence, which is 90 speed, 91 acceleration on someone who's 6'3" is definitely usable. And defensively, he's got great defensive stats. Again, if you need a left-handed shutdown defenseman and you're a Leafs fan, this is a very, very good card for the price range you're going to have to pay to get him. Definitely a card that I think that you could utilize if you are looking for someone who's not a master set player or in the couple 100,000 range. Definitely a good option here. Marc-Edouard Vlasic gets a Social Showdown card, and I can assure you this is not a card I chose. While I love watching Marc-Edouard Vlasic throughout his entire career, I can still remember watching his first game ever, and I believe he was 18 years old when he got his first game. He is one of the worst defensemen in the league right now, and he is absolutely anchoring the Sharks in terms of their cap. So I'm not a huge fan of him. Nonetheless, he gets one with Shutdown as well as Stick Him Up, which is a great superstar ability combo. 89 speed, 91 acceleration. I would much rather have Muzzin, just because Marc-Edouard Vlasic is not a very good skater in this game, and he's awful defensively in real life. But nonetheless, in-game defensively, not bad at all. It's all going to depend on what the price would be for him. I wouldn't pay anything more than 50,000 if one does come on the market, though. Adam Henrique gets a card with Born Leader and Third Eye. He's got Thief as well as Light the Lamp. Very ho-hum, 90 speed, 90 acceleration, but does have good defensive abilities and a decent face-off rating. For anyone with Born Leader here, can get a good, bump there for if you have him high in your lineup. A good shot, decent hand stats, but still a very well-rounded card. Again, it is going to depend on how much he goes for. If he's in that 60,000 range, I think this could be a decent centerman for you. Sam Gagner checks in next with Workhorse as well as Buzzing with Gold Quick Draw and Tape to Tape. 90 speed, 91 acceleration. This is like a cheap version. Same build as Duchesne, just obviously much slower in the rest of his stats. And while he does have Gold Quick Draw, which I think is very important to have one player that has Gold Quick Draw, he would have to be extremely cheap because the rest of him is just not very great all the way around because he is only 5'11" at center, not very good in terms of size. But his skating is okay. Shot is very decent, but yeah, just a weird mix here on Sam Gagner, but there's definitely a usefulness here to him as that Gold Quick Draw is very useful. And then lastly, he's got the 93 Marcel Dion with Spark and Gladiator with Tape to Tape and Wheels. 92 speed, 94 acceleration, high 90 shooting, and then 99 essentially all of his hand stats. At 5'9", this is one of those cards that's fun, but not very good for a Hockey Ultimate Team. If you're a Marcel Dion fan, I can respect it, but just not a card that I would go out and look for. I'm not a huge fan of Wheels on anyone that isn't like Connor McDavid because I just don't notice it. But nonetheless, he gets the 93 overall. Guys, I do want to quickly talk about some of the more abilities that you want to focus on. I think I'm going to make a full video on it, but just for people that I've been kind of wondering recently what ones I've been using, Close Quarters is definitely one of the best now. It activates above the face-off dot, and it's on any shot that you take. I've noticed it. You're able to pick up rebounds extremely easy. The shot comes off at an insane pace, and he like almost can shoot through a goaltender. Definitely one that I would look to activate or try and get on as many forwards as you can. Another one is to have one center that has Gold Quick Draw and 99 face-offs. That that combo specifically, because that basically allows you to throw out a centerman in your own zone that gives you a 60% chance on the draw if you know all the counters. So definitely important to have at least one that has gold quick draw. The other one is 1T as well as Seeing Eye on one of your left-handed defensemen. D to D one-timers just do not go in at the same rate that they've ever gone in the past. It is very difficult to get them regularly. However, the remedy for that is 1T and Seeing Eye. Now, there is a couple combos, guys, or players that have come out that are kind of sneaky in terms of having that ability, because gold 1T is really only on one or two actual decent cards at this stage, and one of them, and that is Zach Werenski, but he's going to cost you like 600,000 coins, which is absolutely just extortion at this point in the game. One of the other options would be this 91 Oliver Ekman-Larsson that you can get for like 60,000 coins. 1T and Seeing Eye, again, if you don't have any great left-handed defensemen, this is one you want to throw out there, and when he's on the ice, try and rip some one-timers, and the reason why I recommend it, even though if it doesn't go in very often, it allows you a better chance to score, and because everyone just sits in the middle and doesn't protect the points, and they just all collapse, this is how you beat that, and that's one of the ways is the D to D one-timer. I'm going to release a video that is going to come out with that and show a little bit more in depth, but just something I want you guys to pay attention to. All right, guys, so that is going to do it for today's content. Let me know what you think in the comments section down below, and I will see you next time. Have a good one.